Did you ever find it interesting that you can have two different expressions from the same distillery and they can be so different? There are a lot of examples of that, and I have one particularly good example here. Woodford Reserve Distiller Select and this Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. This one is a store pick. Both from Woodford Reserve. Quite honestly, Woodford Reserve has not really been my favorite distillery, and I think the main reason is probably because of this flagship right here, but there's others as well. It just doesn't thrill me. And the only way I really drink this is in an old fashioned. A lot of times restaurants will use Woodford Reserve and others, but a lot of restaurants, bars use Woodford Reserve in old fashioned, and I think it makes a decent old fashioned. But other than that, I'm just not really a fan of this. And yet, you add one process, one extra process to this, put aside the store pick, even the regular one, and it becomes so good. And that extra process with this double oaked is very simple. It's put in a second barrel that is heavily toasted and lightly charred. I believe that process is probably a year. I've heard 2 years, but I think more likely somewhere around an additional year. Could be a little less, could be a little more. But putting it in that second barrel changes it so much. Quite honestly, they call this double oaked. It is, but to be more specific, I think this is more like a toasted bourbon because of the fact that that second barrel is heavily toasted and lightly charred, as opposed to like Old Forester 1910, which is actually a second really oak barrel that's heavily charred. This is more like a toasted bourbon. But the point is, taking this and adding a second barrel that is heavily toasted, lightly charred, becomes this, and it is a big difference. So that one extra process changes this completely for me to something that I just really don't even like drinking neat, to something that is a great sipper, and even more so would probably make a great old fashioned, even though this is adequate in an old fashioned. I'm not going to do this blind because it's just easy to pick out. I'm just going to put them side by side, which I've never done, and actually truly see how this becomes this. Let's do it right now. Okay, so I have these two poured up. This one here is this Woodford Reserve Distillers Select. That's their flagship. And this one here is the, let's move this over here. This is the Adelphia Wine Store Pick Double Oaked. So, color-wise, this could be a drop darker, but more so, let's see what the noses seem like. Close, but you can definitely get a little bit more of that, I call that toast and maple syrup coming out of it. So let's try the Woodford Reserve Distiller Select. Cheers. Okay. It's the underlying flavor in here, but just flat. Not much going on, at least that I like. Here's the double oak. Okay, so it takes that base. It goes beyond just masking it. It just takes that, converts that with that double oaked, and you're getting this beautiful toast maple, toasted maple, that toasted, I would call it toasted maple bacon, whatever you want to call it. It's like maple syrup, toasted, and a shade of bacon. It's kind of like pancakes to me. So let's do this again. A flat, slightly bitter taste in the Distiller's Select to this. And it's amazing because this is this, except it had then extra process in the second barrel, heavily toast light charred, that changed it and made it better. And on top of that, this is a store pick, which I think is even a step beyond the regular one. So this is one example. There are other examples. I did a video, actually, I reposted it from last year, one of these on this day, where I did it just side by side, just like this, regular Maker's Mark, Maker's 46, also similar, where you take the base makers and you add those French oak staves in for like 9 weeks or whatever like that, and it becomes something different and better. There's other examples then, of course, with proof, where like Larceny at a lower proof, I don't like, and a Larceny Ballot proof I absolutely love. So there's examples not just with different processes, but also proofs. The point is, it is amazing. You can have two different expressions from the same distillery, and they can be oh so different. Thanks for watching. Cheers.